Hi everyone, Katie here. Welcome back to another layout video. Today I decided to follow the sketch that is up in the left hand corner, and I'm doing that using a piece of pattern paper from Amy Tangerine's Brave and Bold collection and a piece of Coordinations cardstock. It is in Robin. So I have these pictures again from our trip to Peru. They are from a scenic overlook we pulled off on while we were on our tour of the Sacred Valley. And it was just so pretty and so cool, like so unlike anything that I had ever seen, because it's just these mountains, and then right in the valleys in between the mountains are these quaint little cities, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And this is all from the side of the road. Just amazing. Absolutely beautiful country. So, to follow the sketch, I'm doing things a little bit differently, as you can tell. I've got my 3 photos lined up. I could not bring myself to cut any more off the photos. I didn't really want to cut off what I did, just because there's so much to see. So, my photos definitely take up more room than the sketch calls for, but you know what? That's okay. And instead of doing those right hand little, they almost look like tags, like big tags to me, I decide to use that pattern paper that has a large print on it. And I think that works out pretty well for what I'm doing. So you can tell I like my large print. I've already put it down. I like where my photos are. I don't even matte them because I kind of use the kind of teal blue background as my matte. Um, but you know what? I like that. I think it looks good. I'm happy with it. And now I want to do those like little strips of paper that kind of divide the right and the left side of the layout. And I decide that's got to be done with washi. Now, I have this really wide, like pinkish purple magenta, I suppose, sparkly washi, and it's way too thick. You know, I really like it, but it's way too thick. So I have to layer it in order to kind of tone down the sparkle a little bit. So I have the kind of navy little plus signs on top, and then I want one more, but a thin washi this time. And I thought about some of my pinks that I have that are thin, but none of them, the colors just didn't really match the way I wanted them to. But I did have this teal, which I thought coordinated very well with the rest of my layout. So I've got my little strip there down the middle, and I like how that's looking. And now I'm trying to decide, how do I want to do this? I know I want my journaling box and my title. I don't want to cover up that paper too much because I think it's so pretty. And how often do you get to have a big print, that you use on a layout? And I'm going through just like ephemera pieces, looking for little journaling boxes. I ultimately decide on one from the Simple Stories Snap Cards kit. It was a summer collection, maybe Summer Farmhouse? I'm not exactly sure. And I decide on the one with this kind of teal border. Now there was this one that I'm debating between with, I think it has more of a purple border. I spent a long time debating on whether it was purple or navy blue, but ultimately I go with the teal one, and I like what I found. And now I'm trying to find a title in all of my many, many thickers, trying to find a title that won't be too wide, and then that also kind of means something. Obviously, I'm not going to have, a sticker that, works perfectly to tell exactly what this is. But ultimately, I decide to take one from my gold Heidi Swap puffy stickers. They're not thickers, but they're, very much title stickers. And before I do that, I decide to do my journaling. That's always what I do in order to put things off, to put off a decision that I'm struggling with. And in this journaling, I'm just talking about these amazing views that we have. Had to be documented. It's just crazy to me how that's just what you pull off on the side of the road and see. It was so cool. So I finish up my little box, and I think it kind of blends in too much. Yes, it has the border, it stands out enough, but it needs to be popped up. And you can see I decide on my title. It's very simple. It's just this. which may sound like a silly title, and if you think it's silly, that's okay. But there's not much else, words cannot always describe exactly what your pictures have to say. So rather than making it something, like views from a mountain in the Sacred Valley, which I think is just too long. And if you like the long titles, I think that's awesome. But I didn't want that, especially not in the small area that I had. So I just choose this. Like, man, look at it. Because to me, it kind of had the vibe of how full of awe, I suppose, truly awesome this was. So I'm adding just a few little embellishments, as you can see that the sketch calls for. Just a few other little thicker pieces, thicker chipboard, some of the hearts from the Heidi Swap collection. I have just a few little acrylic stars left from my Open Marshall embellishments here. I'm loving getting those used up. I'm almost done with the whole collection. And I don't add much more. Now, I do change the eye dot to the heart, but that is about it. Now, after the video, I do kind of center the word this a little more. I was trying not to lean my head in, so you all didn't see the top of my head the whole time. But I overall really like how this layout turns out. It's a simple one. It was very quick. I think it took me less than 30 minutes in real time. And sometimes that's all you need, right? To have a good layout. My photos are documented, it's in a pretty way, and it's okay that it's simple. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.